Alright guys, we're back. We're going to work on the 80 series today. So we'll walk around on this thing, we'll see if we can get it fired up. Interior's in pretty rough shape. We'll see if we can get it to fire. And it's got a major exhaust leak. So you can see it's in pretty rough shape. The interior is looking pretty rough too. Some of this will clean up probably, but it needs a lot of work in here. And it just reeks like cigarette smoke, so. Alright, so overall the body's in really good shape on this. There's not really any rust other than the very back tailgate. A little rust around the fenders here, but nothing severe at all. The gate's got some spots that need to be repaired, or just replace the gate maybe. This side's the same, a couple scratches here and there, but otherwise very clean for a 97. And the big thing about these, the thing that really makes them worth something, is right there. This is triple locked, so it's got factory front and rear lockers. So once I'm finished with this thing, it should be pretty capable. They're really overbuilt, so this will handle 37-inch tires on stock axles, or on stock diffs. But I think we're going to do 35s on this. Will be a long-term build, so this will be on the channel for a while. I need to get it running first and kind of go through it before I start doing any off-road stuff to it. First thing I'm going to do is swap out these tires too, because they are, you can see they're all weather checked here. I think I saw a date code, yeah. So they're from 2013. I don't know if you can see that. So they're 10 years old, so they're in pretty bad shape. So I'm going to throw my FJ wheels on here just for now, just so I can drive it. But we'll get up in the air and see if we can find out where this thing's leaking so bad. I think it's probably the steering gearbox. Alright, so here's the underneath of this thing. As you can see, they're built like tanks. Fully boxed frame, solid axle. This is the front, by the way. And this one is exceptionally rust-free for being in the Midwest. So it's in really good shape underneath here, a little dirty because it's got so many oil leaks. But it is in very good shape. It's got some pretty poor repairs here and there too. So this is a really good candidate for a build. In my part of this country, it's really hard to find one that's this clean. I mean, there's a lot of 10-year-old cars that aren't this clean, and this thing's a 97, so it's 26 years old right now. The one exception is the hitch. Hitch is completely rusted out, but the frame that it attaches to is very solid yet, so. Not concerned about the frame at all. And this stuff is just all some scale that'll clean up and can paint that really well. So yeah, just a quick walk around. Really good shape for this year in my area. So pretty pumped to get this thing on the road. Make sure it does have the lockers. Yeah, there's a rear locker right there. And there's the front locker. So it is in fact triple lock. Should be one on the center diff too. I don't know where it is on this one though. Alright, so here's the engine bay. This thing has been pressure washed already. So I found this in the cross and drove it just a few miles home, and it was so covered in oil I actually thought it might catch fire. It was smoking so bad. So It's been cleaned. This is a 4.5 liter inline six, I think 215 horse right around there. But you can see even the radiators, so old it's turning brown, and this is when they tend to burst. So that'll need to be replaced. Not leaking, but just old, it'll need to be replaced. But like I said, the first thing we got to do is figure out where the power steering is leaking, because you can fill it up and within 20 minutes you have no power steering, because it just drains someplace. I think that's probably the gearbox, but we'll see. Alright guys, so I'm just trying to get this thing cleaned up a bit and start doing some maintenance on it to find out what I need for parts. And one thing I did run across is a date on the oil filter. See if you guys can see this. Last time the oil was changed, it was 4/11 of 2012. It's now 5/7 of 2023, so 11 years since it's had an oil change. Couple things, the last owner's owned it for about 20 years and they haven't been driving it much, and then it does leak a ton of oil, so I'm hoping the oil is still fairly fresh and the motor's not all full of sludge. But what we're going to do is just dump some seafoam in here, let it run in the driveway for half an hour before I change oil, just to try and break up some of that sludge if it is sludged up. So we'll fire this thing up, let it run, and be back shortly. Alright, we'll be back in a bit. Pretty dark, as to be expected. Alright, there's that date down there if you can see it, 4/11/2012. So it's been a while. Out for the first drive. It runs pretty well. Pretty filthy inside, everything's really yellowed with smoke. Definitely needs some exhaust work. Alright, so we got the oil changed. That's going to be the first step. Kind of the plan for this thing is to make this into an overland rig. So it's going to be a long-term build though. I'm still going to finish up the 4Runner and bring that out probably in June or July back out to Colorado. And then this I'll probably bring out sometime late next year. So I plan on doing suspension and probably build out the back and lights and everything else, but it definitely needs a lot of work before it gets to that point. So it's not going to be some great big rock crawler. It's just going to be more of a camping rig. So if you're looking for a rock crawler, then check out Dirt Lifestyle. He's building one of these right now, 97, kind of the same thing, but he's building his to be a legitimate rock crawler. So anyway, that's going to be it for this one. I will see you next time.